everybody, it's day one of Nano, and it's 7 minutes past 4 in the afternoon for me on day one. So, if you watched my video last night, the random spur of the moment video, you'll remember I had a bit of a headache. I woke up with a cracking headache this morning. It's gone now though, thankfully. I took some painkillers after I had my breakfast. So now I'm okay, yay. Yeah, I don't think it went very well for a first day. It definitely didn't go as well as I wanted it to. Got a bit of I'm getting over a bit of a cold, as you might be able to hear, so I'm sorry about that. Gross. Yeah, so I actually have Word now. I didn't have Word the last couple of years, if you've been with me that long. So I actually have a word count, which is nice. It's very novel. No pun intended. I wrote 2,167 words, which, you know, for me to moan about sounds really dumb, but it didn't feel very smooth and easy. It just gave me trouble. I mean, I wrote like 9 words because I knew what I wanted my first sentence to be, randomly, and I don't know, it didn't come as easy as I wanted it to, so I feel quite disappointed in a way. If you watched my introduction video, you might remember that I decided to pick up about 20 years after the end of Origin, which was what I wrote in 2009, which was an RPG character's early life. This character being like 896 currently in the game in which I play him, called Brutality, which is my own game I made back in 2006, which seems so long ago now. Nearly 6 years ago, oh my goodness. And last time I, played with that, and I played with the Pack's rivalry with a coven, which now don't exist in the universe anymore, majorly because they've been wiped out by the werewolves. So yeah, it's sort of like a bit of catch up for the people who are new to my videos and to my insanity. It's the universe that we play in now, myself and a group of friends. It's werewolf dominated. Not like the planet is werewolf dominated, but out of supernaturals, there's only really werewolves and vampires as races. I mean, there are some humans out there with abilities, and there's even a few werewolves out there with abilities. Like, currently on the game, we have 3 werewolves who have abilities. There's a medium, there's an empath, and there's a precog. Though precog isn't current. Anyway, enough of that. And yeah, currently werewolves have the seat of power because they've beaten vampires back. Because frankly, I got so sick of it being vampires. Because personally, I don't see them as being the better race. I don't see them as the sexier race either. Screw that. And I don't see lycanthropy as a curse either. So anyway, yeah, this is set 20 years after the one I wrote. Roughly 20. I mean, I'm not putting an exact age on it. Like, I didn't put an exact date on it last time, because I wanted to keep it sort of vague, because I didn't want to, write myself into a corner. It's set roughly 20 years after the end of Origin. At the end of Origin, the Pack uproots and moved after, bad shit went down, basically. They didn't feel comfortable in their own home anymore, blah blah blah. Now they've settled somewhere else. I haven't said where yet, because I don't want to, squash everything into, the first bit or whatever. And I've actually got the beginning of, my first sentence is actually, let me have a look. 10 years ago, Cole had learned how to ride, because I've been reading Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire, and I love me some medieval fantasy, all that sort of thing, and I was kind of sad that there were no horses. So I wrote in that, or I had this idea for a little while, that the Pack came across a couple of young wolves who have been bitten and introduced to the life of werewolves rather than born into it, like Cole and some of his pals. And they had horses, these young people, so the horses kind of got used to that sort of predatory scent and seeing a human not freaking out, like, whoa, what the hell? What's going on here? Are you gonna eat me, or are you gonna pet my face? I don't know. So yeah, I've got that. Cole is one of the ones who's taken to it very quickly. Well, I say very quickly, it's been 10 years, and I'm sure he doesn't know everything, but I try not to make him a stew. But yeah, he's one of the ones who can cohabitate with horses, and he can ride one, and whereas there are those like Christian, I don't know if any of you people out there who are like keeping up with me remember the character of Christian. He's one of the fighters in the packs, he's one of the defenders, one of the warriors, as it were. And he just can't get near them without them being like, no, screw you. So he's like, whatever. But then there's like Tafari, who is like this huge mass of a man and a wolf, who can get on very well with them, though he's obviously got a draft horse, carriage horse, because nothing else can bear his weight. But he's like picked this really gentle gelding, and they're bros, they get on, and it's just, I had possibly too much fun with that bit. So that's probably where I bet the word camp comes from, because I love horses and I love wolves, and now I get to bring them both together. And I'm a big nerd. So yeah, there was all this bit. They're riding along, and then they come to this hill, and they stop, and they're looking at a town, and Sofia and Felipe are there, if you remember those from before. If not, they're a couple of Cole's friends, they're in the same sort of age bracket, and they're mates now. They ended up getting together at the end of Origin, because I couldn't help myself, and I decided they had chemistry. It came out in the writing, for me, organically, that they had chemistry. I didn't just randomly go, watch them together, because that would have been lame. So yeah, there's those, and there's also a new character who I've introduced, who I'm going to work very hard to keep very different from Elizabeth, called Vivian. At the moment she's got quite a lot of spunk, you know, she's quite sort of in your face a little bit, but still, I hope, era appropriate. She's sort of cheeky, she's sort of, you know, mischievous, and the horse she's riding is sort of high-spirited, won't sit still, and keeps nipping at the other horses, and so yeah, I accidentally had this sort of balance going with horse and rider. I don't know if I meant to do that. And they're looking at this town, and you know, they're saying how it's still small, it's still the same, and Cole says, well, you know, at some point it's not going to be small, you know, humans are gonna spread everywhere, they're gonna be everywhere, we won't be able to hide anymore. And Vivian's like, oh really, you know, there's always somewhere to hide. And Cole says, well, where? She actually looks skyward, and Felipe's like, in the heavens, oh, foolish. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, then it goes on to this bit where Cole spots something, because, you know, Cole being my protagonist, he's gonna be the one that we go on the journey with, as protagonists usually are. I'm explaining how books work, people. So yeah, he spots something in the grass, and he, you know, he goes down the hill a little way, not on the horse, and checks it out. And they follow this trail after he's found some dry blood on grass, and they follow the trail back, and they find a big patch of dried blood on grass, and it turns out that Cole's following the way the trail led rather than where it came from. He followed it forward rather than back, if you see what I mean. And they leave Vivian outside because she makes too much noise. She's not stealthy. And they head into the trees, and they find a body, basically. Sophia's worried that it's going to be a human, but it actually turns out to be a wolf. Not a werewolf, a wolf. Which, you know, no big. See, I'm going to have to do my research after the fact to figure out where wolves were around, where wolves were around periods of history, because I'm going to have to check when they were in certain places. My screen went dark, sorry about that. And I think they were around for a long time. I think they've only been wiped out in the wild in certain parts in the last couple of hundred years or so. Anyway, and what unnerves Cole is the fact that this wolf is alone, without a pack, and also that it was a werewolf that killed it. So I don't know where I'm going with this, to be honest. I tried to get an outline. I I tried to get my thoughts into some sort of order, but it didn't work. I couldn't even sit down with a notebook. I think part of my brain is just shunning the idea of pinning myself down too roughly, because I like to have wiggle room. I still haven't decided who or what the main antagonists are going to be. Humble. I don't know, so, you know, we're all going to take this journey together. We're just going to tag along as, I put coal through the ringer, probably, because I like doing that. Because I'm that sort of author. I'm that sort of creator. I like to be mean. I'm a kid with an ant farm and a magnifying glass, clearly. So I'm going to stop for now, because I've been rambling like 10 minutes. So I'll be back tomorrow, because I'm back to doing one a day. And hopefully tomorrow it will feel a little bit more, you know, organic. It will feel smoother, hopefully. So until then, I hope you're all getting along well, and you're not too annoyed with me already. And I'll check you out tomorrow on day 2.